We have a tweet from Roger Stone. Now, Kash Patel has made an appearance on the Joe Rogan Show, and he was saying that he thought Epstein took his own life. Roger Stone says what FBI Director Kash Patel is telling us is that the FBI destroyed all of the DVDs and hard drives that contained videos of Epstein's clients of abusing Epstein's victims. This is not surprising. U.S. Attorney Alex Acosta covered up Epstein's crimes in Florida, where the Palm Beach police gave the prosecutors an airtight case for child trafficking and statutory rape of 33 children. The state charged Epstein was one count of solicitation, and the DOJ went along because the CIA told them Epstein was an asset. So there's a lot of criticism for Kash Patel and Dan Bongino right now over them saying that Epstein took his own life. And speaking on the Joe Rogan Experience, he says there was no way in or out. We've got video. We'll release the video. Epstein did kill himself. So I'm wondering where y'all fall on this one.
I was listening to it on the way up here, and it was just another like
you think Kash is lying?
I don't know, but I got the thing when Musk went nuts on Trump yesterday. I'm like,
that's fun, right?
A little bit of air goes out, and it's like a little less hope, a little less faith, like it's getting beat down, you know.
But I don't think Kash Patel's lying.
I don't think he's lying either. I think what he's saying is that there's no evidence. They're not going to do what, the lawfare people do, that this isn't who they are. They're not going to go manufacture evidence. They're not going to pull together things that don't connect.
What he did say is that they do have evidence of Epstein attempting to kill himself at one time. Epstein attempting to hang himself at one other time, and they pulled him out and he survived. They do have that on tape. That's what he said, Kash Patel. But it wasn't he said, so of course, if he's that desperate at one time, that's why they put him on suicide watch and believed that he tried again and it worked.
What Roger Stone is saying is not necessarily that Kash is covering things up or lying to you. He's saying that when Kash comes out and says there's no evidence, there's no videos, here's what we have. Previously, the FBI did this, and now Kash and Dan get in and there's nothing there.
But the question is, why did Pam Bondi come out and say there were tens of thousands of hours of videos with kids?
Because she got caught by James O'Keefe. James O'Keefe had a source, saw Pam Bondi in a restaurant. Pam Bondi was speaking with I guess it was a nanny or something, and said that the FBI has these videos, disclosing randomly to this person for some reason. He reached out to the DOJ saying, we have this recorded. This statement was made. Can you comment? Immediately she comes out and says, yes, we have all this evidence. So it's interesting. Well, I don't expect them to release videos of children being abused.
Neither.
So, I mean, what?
But he was saying that I think that they don't have.
He was saying the first attempt is on video, but not the second one where it worked.
Yeah, and that's because there was no video of it happening.
Right.
The videos were magically not recording at that time.
There was one camera that didn't work.
Okay.
But I guess that's the camera of the cell. I'm not sure.
So the one camera, like the most important camera.
But Kash said he had been to that prison, and there's no way anyone could get into that cell. There's no way, he said. Even if the guards were asleep, it was constructed so that no one could just sneak in there. And the evidence, he said, that logically, if the guy tried to kill himself on tape before but lived, of course he would try to do it again.
This is why I've never been someone to just assert, here's what it is, right? When this happened, I would say for my position and for most of us, we were kind of like, yeah, nobody believes he took his own life. Mm-hmm. But we did actually say, we don't know for sure.
Right.
And I can't imagine Dan Bongino, of all people, covering something like this up.
Me neither.
I can't either.
But the other thing is, I know for sure, though, from people that were involved, that they took out of the New York house, the New York Epstein home, hard drives, binders of CD-ROMs, diamonds, fake IDs, all that stuff that was in his vault or in his safe in New York City was taken. And the question is, okay, so there's nothing. Well, what about all that stuff? So, and if the FBI did destroy it, then shouldn't people be held accountable within the FBI? Why do we never go after the people within?
You know what I think? I think the Epstein list would compromise the Saudis and the Qataris and
the Swiss.
Yeah, but I think largely the Middle East. I certainly think there's going to be a lot of people from Europe on it as well. But my point is, you get in, no matter who you are. and you go into the skiff or whatever, and they say, okay, you want to look at the Epstein stuff? Look. And then you're like, hey, wait a minute, that's a Saudi prince right there. And they're like, that's right. And if we release this, that's going to shatter the petrodollar. They're going to dump oil, align with Russia, and the U.S. economy crumbles. Do you still want to release this? And you're like, holy crap.
Yeah.
Now, for me, I'd be like, yep, let's go. But maybe Dan Bongino wouldn't want to do that. Maybe Cash wouldn't want to. Maybe Trump wouldn't want to do that. So...
Well, what do you make of Elon, though, throwing down that Trump's in the files?
That when Elon said that is an extremely low blow that politically and strategically was like you're in a boxing match and you kick someone in the balls.
Yeah.
It's a low blow.
Yeah.
I think it's silly. I think he should not have said it. And I don't think it's true. I think it may be, as Michael Malice calls it, factual but not truthful, in that, yes, Trump is in the documents because it says something like, at a Donald Trump party.
Well, they already released that, right? Where the Trump administration released documents that show...
Well, hold on. He said, in the unreleased documents, Trump is in it. That's why they're not releasing it. Okay. So what he said was, Trump is in the documents. That's what the implication is, not what's been released. What hasn't been released has Trump in it. Okay, what does that mean if Trump's in it? There are a lot of people who are going to be in these documents. The question is, did Elon mean on the client list? He didn't say that. So he's throwing mud at Trump. I think it's silly.
Well, they're doing that right now with celebrities during the Diddy trial, where they're saying that these
if the DOJ had any proof at all of that, even if it was unreleased and Comey had any access to any of it, it would have made it through something.
I don't know, unless it implicated Democrats too. Like, what if Donald Trump is in it because he was partying with Bill Clinton? They're going to be like, we don't want to release this because it's Bill. And they're like, you know?
I mean, I don't know if that's the type of thing where, like, it would depend on who it actually ends up associating with, because they would be fine with cutting off a few of their own.
It wouldn't kill Bill Clinton.
No.
I really do think that one of the main reasons is there are people implicated. Like, look, Prince Andrew is implicated in all this. And the issue there is that none of this was supposed to get out until Mike Cernovich went after this court case, and then I think it was the Miami Herald joined as well, and then it was a defamation case. Documents got exposed showing Prince Andrew was hooking up with underage girls and lying about it. That one's supposed to get released, but it was a crack where this one component was they were able to get the information out. As for the rest of it, there's going to be princes, there's going to be CEOs, and the political calculus is this is the global order, and if you release this, it's over. And nobody wants to do it. Nobody wants to be the person to pull the linchpin from the global economic system.
But I think for the average, like for a lot of the people that voted for Trump, what is it they always say? Bull in a china shop, right? So they imagine that he would be the one who would look at those files and then release them. Results be damned. No matter what happens.
Look at how upset people are on the internet about
exactly.
The lack of things being done, the lack of arrests, the lack of accountability. They're really mad that things have not panned out yet, and it's
3 months.
It's just a few months.
Well, it's because one month after Cash and Dan got in, they were like, "Why isn't the arrest? Why have the arrests happened?"
This is part of the internet and in the instant news cycle. Is like we're not in an age now where you're getting your news every day at the same time at 7 a.m. when you read your newspaper. You're constantly on Twitter. You're constantly reading news, and it feels like nothing's happening because you're living 5 lives in a day as you read 200 stories about the news, and then you look at the clock and it's only been a couple of months. Now, I personally don't think that a lot of stuff is going to change because I don't think anybody in office has the power to do so. If the billionaire who has nothing that they can hold over him can't do it, I don't think that there's an elected official who doesn't come from even more money than him, perhaps, that would have the ability to do that. I don't think it's a fixable system.
You know why I think nothing will ever change? There's too many vested interests in too many different areas of what this system is. And so even if, let's say Dan Bongino, he did get in, goes into the office, they say, here's the truth. If you release this, if we were to agree with you, then the petrodollar collapses, the economy goes down. If Dan Bongino did say, you know what, it's the right thing to do, so we're going to put these documents out, they'd say, hold on a minute. They'd take a manila folder out, open it up with a picture of his daughter, and slide it across the table and say, what was that? What was that? You want to say that again?
Yeah.
For sure.
I mean, we do have to look at this in terms of how big this is. Don't forget also, Epstein was giving money to Harvard, MIT, Stanford. He was involved in all kinds of science, the Human Genome Project, CRISPR technology, transhumanism. I mean, his tentacles were everywhere. And I don't think it's him. I think that he worked for the international banking cartel, as I call them. So everyone was involved in a lot of this stuff. So like you said, it's like Eric Holder put in that collateral consequences memo, which is why all those banks, nobody went to jail for 2008, because they said that it was too big of a collateral consequence to go after the banks because of what would happen to the economy. This is likely the same thing on a global scale.
Thanks for checking out this clip from Timcast IRL. Make sure to watch the show live Monday through Friday at 8 p.m. Subscribe to this channel, and we will see you all there.